Welcome to Fort Worth Innovates, a show about innovation, research, entrepreneurship, and startups in Panther City. My name is Cameron Cushman, and I'm the host of this podcast that brings you the stories of the people that are putting our city on the map as a leader in innovation, with the help of the Fort Worth Tarrant County Innovation Partnership. My guest today is Demetrie King, the founder of Market Match, a Fort Worth-based company that wants to revolutionize the consumable industry. Using Tinder-like swiping technology, Demetrie is on a mission to redefine convenience. The Market Match app allows consumers to express their preferences through simple swipes that help event venues, restaurants, bars, and many other types of businesses get a feel for what their customers really want, allowing them to streamline their processes, reduce waste, and better serve their clients. Through cutting-edge technology and a customer-centric approach, Demetrie aims to provide seamless solutions that cater to modern lifestyles through this fun and engaging survey tool. Demetrie, welcome to the Fort Worth Innovates podcast.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Okay, so I just read this really long bio about what your product does, your service does, but how do you describe it? Can you kind of tell us what Market Match is in its own words?
Sure. Market Match is a software platform that uses swipe technology to conduct market research and surveys throughout the marketplace. So if you're looking to get some forecasting done before you make any purchases, we're the software platform to help you out.
Very cool. And for those who aren't familiar, tell us what swiping technology is. I think most people get that, but let's define it just to be safe.
Yeah, so swipe technology, it really came out within like the dating world. If you ever use like Tinder or Bumble or something similar to that, when you want to go dating, you swipe right on what you like, swipe left on what you don't like. I'm doing the same thing just in regards to CPG products or any survey type of generality, I should say.
Very cool. Yeah. And I've used it and it is really cool. And you do see that swipe technology really increasing in usage across the board, particularly on people's phones. But what is the problem that you're trying to solve with Market Match? Can you kind of drill down on the problem?
Yeah, so the major problem that we're really trying to do is take surveys and gamify them. So most people are used to the Google Forms or other type of survey monkey, something similar to that. And there's very low response on those surveys. So what I created was a way to gamify it to make it fun, but also get the data that was needed in regards to the feedback from your customers.
So why do people hate surveys so much? And how is Market Match solving that problem versus the way that surveys are currently conducted?
So most people with a Google form type of survey, they feel like they're taking a test. And, I don't want to feel like I'm taking a test, especially if I'm trying to give feedback. I already have enough things that I'm doing on a daily basis. So if you can make it very simple and easy, but also very effective at the same time, then I'm more inclined to use it. And this is shown from the millennials, even younger crowds as well, too. They're more than happy to give their feedback if it's easy and fun for them.
It makes sense. Yeah, if you can make something fun, then they want to do it. If you make it feel like a chore or a test, I don't want to take a test. I don't blame you a bit. Demetrie, what in your background or experience led you to see this problem and maybe understand it in a different way? And then similarly, why did you decide that you were the person to try to solve it?
Yeah, so I mean, I've always been a side hustler, entrepreneur, had something that I was always working on. One of those things that I had was a vending business, and I saw that there was a real disconnect in between the consumers and myself. I stock the machine. Most vending machine owners may stock the machine thinking like, I'm going to put in there what I like and they're going to actually purchase it. And it actually doesn't work that way at all. So what I did was I created this platform to give a voice to the people that were purchasing from the vending machine. And I noticed that the number one thing that was in demand was iced honey buns. And so I purchased a small pack of iced honey buns and put them in the vending machine. And the next day they sold out. And I had the light bulb right there. I'm like, one, this can go past vending machines and actually can go towards many different instances as well, too. So let's see how we can get it done.
So it was just that one simple change. And obviously that increased revenue for your vending machine, right? Did you ever figure out was there one person that was behind the iced honey buns? Was that just a favorite product? Was it that kind of crowd or that specific location? Did you ever figure out why that was the best selling item?
So since it's a survey for the collective, I think there was about like 12 people that originally said, hey, they wanted this. So I was like, let me just buy six of them. And that's what it is. Cause I'm really trying to make this forecasting easier and take a lot of risk out of, making purchases for any individual. So if I say 100 people want something, I know there's a better chance of buying 10 or 20 of it instead of buying in large bulk and then it expiring or, not being bought just in general.
And I guess on the flip side of that, there's vending machines that had stuff that was stocked for a long time and it would just sit there, right? Like the Cheez-Its weren't moving or the granola bars weren't moving, and you were able to determine that through your technology as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And one thing in the vending industry in general is it's very well known the vendors purchase things with the longest shelf life and then they just move it across multiple vending machines until they find the place that it's going to sell the most. And that's what I'm trying to get rid of. Like that's extra work that you shouldn't have to do. Yes, it's effective for what you're doing right now, but instead of you buying it, there's a huge risk right there and then placing it and have to move it to all these different places. You can just ask your customer base, hey, what would you like as a whole? And then place it in there according to what's in demand.
Yeah, and I guess you could do that across the board. Of course, you could do soda or drinks, but you could do what kind of deodorant sells best at Walgreens, or which flavors of popsicles do you want to see, or something like that. How have you tried to kind of take that to other industries outside of just vending or snack foods?
So right now I'm working with two colleges, working with UTA and TCU in regards to bringing it on campus. Because what I'm hearing from these campus or these universities, I should say, is they really want to build a community for the students that make like they feel like they're at home. And to do that, they need to be able to listen to these students in regards to what they want on campus to make it feel like they're actually at home. So what we did was I gave them options in regard of snacks, drinks, but also events on campus too that they would love to see that they don't have as of right now. Because one of the biggest pain points that I heard from the students with talking to them and with the market research was they hated having to go off campus to go get their favorite things. They get out of class, they have to go to their car, if they even have a car, and then they have to drive to where they want to get their favorite soda or favorite drinks or whatever it is and come back. That's about 45 minutes to an hour that they could be sleeping, they could be studying more, they can be doing all these different things instead of worrying about getting that stuff because what they have is actually on campus. And what my next move I want to do is bring this to the universities and say, hey, I know you have apparel. I know you have merchandise that you want to bring on campus. Let's let your student body, pick what they want on campus. You provide me all the designs and I'll let them swipe through and I give you that data according to what's in demand.
Wow, so turns out people don't like purple t-shirts, they like white t-shirts, or they want the Maverick on it, or they just want the words on it. That's a really interesting way to think about it and to try to solve that problem. So you mentioned universities, you're working with two local universities, which we love. But why did you decide that universities were going to be either your first target market, or why is that the place where you're sort of rolling out Market Map?
So I'm a member of Tech Fort Worth. And with that membership, I had an intern that I worked with at TCU. And with any business, when you're starting out, what you want to do is go out and ask all the questions to see what, if it's really in demand, if it's really wanted. And that intern went out and spoke to multiple students across TCU and said, hey, what's not on campus that you would love on campus? Would you use this type of technology in regards to, telling us what you want if it was provided to you? And over half of the students that she spoke to said yes, downloaded it, and then also used it as well too. And they were swiping so much that it was just crazy to see.
It was craziness. I like that. Well, that's pretty good market feedback right there. I would have created craziness in my startup, so that makes a lot of sense. I love that. And I guess it's that kind of target demographic. They're used to doing that technology. You wouldn't want to test it among first-time iPhone users or young kids who don't have phones or whatever. So I guess that makes sense. And obviously they've been able to prove to you that it works.
Mhm. Yeah, just to give you some information and data that are received. So most Google Forms, like you might get about 7 to 10 questions answered. Like on a good day, we're getting 150 plus swipes in a single session from students. That's how much of a difference it is.
That's a game changer. And how long does it take them to get through those 150 swipes?
Easily, like maybe 2 minutes.
So they're not spending any more time than they would on a Google form, but they're getting a whole lot more results, and it's more fun and more gamified for the respondent, and that's a win-win-win situation.
Absolutely. And that's what my business is actually built on, is for everyone to win. I want the consumers to get exactly what they want. I want the universities to be able to keep their bottom line low, but also provide great customer service to their students on campus. And then lastly, the main thing is getting brands at the right place at the right time. So that way everyone is winning in the whole aspect of it. I call it the full circle win on my side.
The full circle win. I like that. You may need to trademark that or something. So is there a limit to how many things you could actually have students swipe on? I mean, is it you can only ask them about Coke versus Pepsi so many times? Can you just load up as many different things as you want and there's no end to it, or do you actually put a cap on the number at the end of the survey, so to speak?
It really depends on who I'm working with. Like as of right now, the students are swiping through like 1,000 plus products online, but I can put anything on this app, so it can be any type of survey. If they want to talk about events on campus, if they want to talk about other things they would like on campus, if they want to talk about, what the student body wants, because they can give their suggestions as well, and I can just add that to the survey, so that way they can give their opinion on it. I can create any type of survey to let the students go through. And that can be from 20 items to 1,000 items, no matter what it is.
That's really fascinating. Very cool. Well, it sounds like you're having fantastic results with it, and you've really found your target market, which is college students and working with universities to try to match up some of those gaps there. That's really great. You mentioned vending machines. Do you still own vending machines, or do you work in that business in any way, or are you kind of full time on Market Match now and gotten out of the vending game?
Yeah, so I am full time in the market match now. I did sell my vending machine, because one thing about being in the vending game, like, it's really about multiple machines. That's how you really, can work it. And if I was running on all those machines, I wouldn't have time to be out networking like I do, talking to folks like I do on a regular basis. But I mean, I'm still trying to work with companies such as Canteen and Sodexo, which are very heavy into vending machines and micro markets, which the world is kind of really going to is these self-pay micro markets, at any school, any business, or even like a corporate office.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I love that, and you could probably still sell back to some of your vending machine friends and colleagues, right? Because they have the same problem that you had that are now solving in a new way.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the thing. I gained a lot of exposure in the vending industry. Of course, it was rebranded now to Market Match. But I'm I've seen this best used by the students, because one, it's a very large crowd of people, and like TCU, they have like I think around 12,000 students. So even if I get 1,000 students to download the app, that's very raw, great data that I'm receiving from these students, that in the long run, more people or more students will actually be downloading the app too. Because one benefit that I forgot to say is, for every 20 swipes that they use on the app, they get an entry to win cash from myself, or merchandise from the school, like t-shirts or hat or anything like that. So it's not just the benefit of getting what you want on campus. It's also the benefit of waking up one morning and having cash sent to your Venmo or your Cash App. And I'm sure, as you know, we've all been students. At a point in time when you're a student, you are broke, and having a little bit of money to have coffee or an energy drink in the morning will make your day.
Yeah, that's right. Nobody's broker than a college student, right? And then nobody's broker than a graduate student. That's what I always heard.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's really cool. I love that. Um, Demetri, where do you see Market Match in 5 years? Like, what's the growth trajectory for this? What are your future markets that you want to try to hit?
So right now, and one of the reasons I'm starting with the colleges is because the younger base, they're used to the swipe behavior, but also these students are the same type of students that go to festivals, and they go to concerts, and they go to events. So if I can already get them acclimated to using this type of technology on campus, it makes sense for them whenever they're going to a concert or an event, and like they want to see what type of beer they have there, what type of food trucks they're going to have there. They can swipe through all this before they go, and then the vendor will know exactly what's in demand. So I want to be the guy whenever you're buying your ticket from Ticketmaster, you're registering for an event with Eventbrite, that after you get your ticket, you're going to get an email introducing Market Match with a code for you to enter, so that way you can swipe through everything that's going to be there. And the added benefit, it's not just a possibility of your brands being at the right place at the right time, but it's also brand recognition for companies that weren't known beforehand that are now be able to seen by all these students or anyone that's actually going to be using the app.
That's really cool. Yeah, I love it. And I think you're right. The sky's the limit. Everybody needs to know what will sell better. And if they can know that in advance, that is a huge potential win, if not just minimizing losses, which is, I think, a huge part of what you do, not only for profits in the bottom line, but for not filling up landfills with sausage they didn't sell or cheeseburgers that they had to throw out or whatever that may look like.
Yep. Yeah, the average college in food waste has about $300,000 a year. And I would love to be able, and that's just food waste. So you got to think about, you have apparel, you have books, you have other things that they're throwing away as well too. You just slowly take this type of software to these different types of uses, and then you'll be able to see this is going to make a change throughout the whole campus, not just in food, but many other things.
Yeah, no doubt. And I love that reducing landfill waste and using that food for another purpose, right? Can we feed the hungry or do something else with it? I think that is a huge potential benefit. So, Demetrie, you've really benefited from plugging into the local entrepreneurial community here in Fort Worth. What has that been like, and how has the community helped you?
So it's the forward community has been absolutely great. I'm a natural networker myself. I'm always out there. Sure you see me all the time. But I've been working with Accelerate Fort Worth. Like I said earlier, I'm a member of Tech Fort Worth. That whole campus area is very driven, but 1 million cups has been a great starting point for me as well too. If you don't know about 1 million cups, it's the best way to get your business out there if you're scared. They call it the dolphin tank, not the shark tank. So that way you can dip your foot in the water and really expose yourself to people that want to help you grow. So the forward community has been so great in regards to that. They see the real benefit of how this could change, purchases and just interaction between people and using useful data, that I'm so happy to bring it to this whole community.
Well, that's really cool. Yeah, and people don't know that a lot of those things exist, and a lot of those resources, like 1 million cups, are completely free to present, free to attend, free to network. You don't have to belong to anything; you just show up, and people just don't know how to access that stuff, and they don't always know the benefit of it. So, outside of that, what advice would you have for our listeners about how to access the network in Fort Worth?
I would say, first thing I would say is start there and then get to know the people, because one thing that I say, like, you got to find your people. And in Fort Worth, I've found my people. Like, I found someone that is going to put my business out there, connect me with someone that they feel like this is going to be a good connection. So a major thing that I always say is, one, you always got to keep going. Don't ever stop. But two, you got to find your people, because they're going to relay your message while you're also relaying their message in regards to what their business is. And then that type of community driven, networking is something that's just very big and is growing rapidly right now with Fort Worth. So if most people don't know, Fort Worth is on the rise with many different things, and the entrepreneurial community is one of them, of course. But just getting out there and saying, "Hey, I can do this," is the best way to start.
Well, at the time of recording, it's the 10th largest city in the country, but by the time this episode comes out, we might be ninth, we might be eighth. Who knows? It's been a dramatic rise in population, and I think you can find anything you need right here in the community. We sort of fall into this narrative that you got to be in Silicon Valley, you got to be in Austin, you got to be in Boston for biotech or whatever it is. There's plenty of people here, plenty of great institutions doing amazing things. You don't have to do that. It's a big enough city now, even though it still has that small town feel, that you don't have to
Hmm.
do that. And I love that. And it took you a little while, but you found it, and it has benefited you and your company tremendously, which I think is a huge testament to all of our city and just the way that we think about entrepreneurs and how we want to give back to people like you who are sort of betting the farm on a cool technology to create those full circle wins.
Absolutely. I'm here to make sure everybody's winning, but also making sure that, I'm building a community that helped me win.
So, Demetri, I know you mentioned you're already working with local universities like UTA and TCU, but I know you also recently got connected in with the Fort Worth Tarrant County Innovation Partnership and the Texas A&M system and all the A&M groups that are operating here locally in Fort Worth. Tell us about what that connection was like and where do you see that headed?
Yeah, so I had a great conversation with the Fort Worth Tarrant County Innovation Partnership. They saw a real need for what I'm bringing to the table with this technology in regards to multi facets out there, not just in the school, but also what they're bringing here downtown. If you haven't had a chance, if you haven't seen it, they're building this large building downtown in Fort Worth that has a huge Texas A&M flag, and I'm more than happy to bring my technology to the multiple campuses that are they're spreading all across Texas to see how we can better serve the whole community in regards to bringing what they want, where they're at.
There are lots of college students in the Texas A&M system all throughout the state, so lots of potential customers for you, no doubt about it. And love that the Fort Worth Tarrant County Innovation Partnership is interested in working with you to close that gap and bring those two sides together. So really love that.
Yeah, it's been a great time, and I'm looking forward to it.
Very good. So, Demetrie, let's say I'm a listener and I really want to try your technology, or maybe I work in one of your target markets and want to try to connect you into what I'm doing as a business owner or another university or something. What's the best way for them to find you and learn more about MarketMatch?
Yeah, so my website is www.marketmatch.app. And also all my social media channels is also just at marketmatch.app. If you want to check out my Instagram, you can click the link in the bio, download the app and try a demo for yourself. Once you log in, just type in demo and you'll be able to see exactly how this software is actually coming to the market.
Yeah, shameless plug for your demo. It is really cool. And I can describe it to you, but once you actually play with it and use it, you really get it. And so, yeah, I would highly encourage anybody who's interested to do that. I think your demo is great.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Love it. That's great. Demetrie, what is your favorite innovation in Fort Worth?
So I know I've said it a couple times now, but I'm just gonna keep doing a little shameless plug. But Tech Fort Worth is bringing some great things to the community. If you don't know about Tech Fort Worth, they've been around for 25 plus years, helping founders grow their themselves personally and on the business side. They're also partnered with Cowtown Angels as well too. But this is a great community to be a part of because where they're located is multiple other locations that can help you out too. So you can be in a better spot to ask for help than in that area and where Tech Fort Worth and also Accelerate Fort Worth is too.
Great, love it. Yeah, huge fan of Tech Fort Worth and the great work that they do, and so glad you're a part of that. On the Gwynn campus there at I-35 in Rosedale, a lot of people don't even know that campus exists, and there's so many different entities operating there that help entrepreneurs, startups, small businesses, innovators, you name it. So thanks for naming that. And there's lots of ways to get involved there with lots of different programs. Demetrie, thank you so much for joining me today on Fort Worth Innovates. If you like hearing stories like this about innovation, research, entrepreneurship, and startups in our city, please subscribe, share, and be sure to tell a friend. The more you engage, the more episodes we can bring you. Fort Worth Innovates is produced by Kendall Rogers. We'd also like to thank our sponsor for this podcast, the Fort Worth Tarrant County Innovation Partnership, who are building an innovation district where technology and research combine to build the future right here, right now.